depending on what you do for a crust, you might have cause to wear a suit a lot or not at all. Perhaps your suit only comes out on formal occasions. My studio guest this afternoon, Mark Ferguson, is in the house. Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Now, Mark is a beautifully attired gentleman. Describe for me what you're wearing right now, Mark, would you, please?
Burgundy suit with a light pink shirt, and I've paired that with a silk pocket handkerchief, and we've got a parrot as a brooch.
It's exquisite. You look the best.
Thank you.
You kind of need to, because you kind of make suits for a living. More on that in a moment. You've been in the suit making business for 18 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's the 18th birthday month, in fact, isn't it?
That's exactly right.
But what do you think? You hear about the casualisation of fashion. Is that what you're seeing? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it is definitely becoming more casual. But I think every person should own a great suit in their wardrobe for those more special occasions. And also, you know, if you have a good suit in your wardrobe, you find reasons to wear it, whether it's take, your partner out to dinner or a wedding coming up or the races. So guys and women are looking towards a good suit to be their more formal occasion. But casually, especially guys, they're looking more towards sports jackets now and like dress denim rather than a full suit. And that's more acceptable in this day and age in the working environment.
Better suited to the climate in Queensland too. I mean, how do suits go in the Sunshine State? Are we suited to suits here in Queensland?
Well, I sell suits, so I have to say yes. So, and the reason I can say yes is because our suits are unstructured as well. So what that means is that they're nice and light. And then we have beautiful lightweight wools and linens and blends of those two fabrics, which enable us to wear suits like I'm wearing today. So you're able to get that comfort without that heavy suit feeling. But sports jackets is definitely where it's at for a lot of people, and they feel comfortable in that. Then they pop it on when they have a little bit more of an important meeting. But having a nice suit or a really nice sports jacket is really it shows respect for the other person you're meeting with, and maybe the meeting you're going to, or the restaurant that you're going to.
When did you first wear a suit?
Yeah, I think it was. I was a late bloomer. So
right, you're in the suits business now, and you were a late bloomer with suits. I love this.
Late bloomer. So around 17. It was my formal. Wore a tails, top hat, cane, white gloves, the whole lot. So I just, I like dressing up. So I guess I've landed in my perfect career.
Gee, when you bloomed, you really bloomed. Paul, when did you first wear a suit? Paul, what can you tell me?
You're listening to Kat Feeney.
Well, I had worn suits at school.
Yes.
I decided with my first pay packet I'd go out and buy myself my own suit.
Okay.
And I was in England, I took myself off to a big store and got fitted for this suit.
Fantastic.
Took it home, and my mother, who normally advised on things like this, said, "Oh, very nice, dear. Gold lining, very nice, very sort of understated. Can you touch your toes?" So I touched my toes and split the backside out of the new suit.
Why would she ask you to do that? Why did she ask you to touch your toes? Oh, no.
Because she knew very well that I had been sold a suit by a gentleman who was interested in selling a suit.
Yes, that's a problem.
And in fact, it was not the right size. I've always been fairly well built, if you follow that on.
Mm-hmm.
And
strong.
Quite embarrassing having to take it back with my mother to get a complete refund, and then she took me to buy a proper suit.
Oh, go your mum. So, Paul, can I ask, clearly there's something about having a suit that means something to you. So what is that? As someone who, Paul, I have tracksuits, I don't have suits. What is it about having the suit?
How do you manage to live without having a suit?
I ask myself that question on a regular basis in so many ways, Paul. But come on, what is it? What's so good about a suit? What's so good about a suit, Paul?
When you take out the lady of your dreams for the first time, you want to look the bee's knees. And a suit does it. A suit, beautifully pressed, the shirt, tie matching, nice clean shoes. You set up the impression so when you knock on the door and her father opens the door, you don't look like something the cat dragged in.
Right, it's a bit of armour as much as anything else.
100%.
Good on you, Paul. Thank you. Mark Ferguson, can I come back to you? Because you started off in the suits business just for men, but you expanded to include women how long ago now?
About 5.5 years ago now.
And how's that played out? What's the market for suits amongst women?
Yeah, well, it's steadily grown over that time. Initially, it was just one or two people every now and again, but we kept on getting more and more requests for it. And so it took about 6 to 12 months to put it all together. And now, probably 15% of our business is women. And at 2 p.m. today, I'll be measuring up a new lady for a new suit.
Okay. And for what purposes are they seeking suits?
A lot of it's business, corporate, a lot of weddings. We do a lot of wedding suits, sometimes for the races. But they're mostly suits just that they can wear and mix and match and work in with the rest of their wardrobe. So we want to make something that's versatile. So not just for the one occasion. It's got to be versatile to get your money's worth.
And that's interesting, isn't it? Because it does cost a bit of money to do the whole suit thing properly, for made to measure and all that, as you would expect. But it's also happening at a time when I see the rise, well, not just of the casualisation, which we've addressed, but also of rental businesses. Like suits for hire have always been a thing. But nowadays, formal wear is kind of for hire in a way that it wasn't. You can still go to the shop to rent your suit or dress, but you can also use one of the many apps that exist. So, rent or buy?
It depends. It depends how often you're going to use it. So,
Right.
When you're looking at renting, it might be around about $200 to rent, right? What you need to consider when you're renting a suit is generally they're made out of polyester, so you're going to sweat in them. And also 100 people before you have been doing the exact same thing. Limited style ranges, colours, those sorts of things. But if you're not going to buy a made-to-measure or bespoke suit, then there's some there's some reasonable companies around that do off the rack for sort of 500, 600, and for that you get a suit that you're going to be able to wear more and more. So, look, I know some good hire companies and they're friends of mine, and they have a good business in the wedding business side of things. But if you're looking for something in a business context, then obviously go out and purchase and invest in something. But, going back to the gentleman's point earlier is, go to someone that you can trust, that they're not just selling you a suit because they want to sell you a suit.
Ideally, a suit might last. So before I bid you a fond farewell, Mark, and let you get to your next fitting, how long could a suit last? And what do you need to keep in mind if you're caring for suits in a humid climate like Brisbane, Gold Coast?
Great questions. So, typically you want at least about 10 years out of your suit. Now, that might sound a little bit long for some people, depending on how often you wear it. You only need to dry clean it when it's particularly dirty. Let's say if you've sweated in it a lot, or if you happen to spill red wine or meatball sauce on it. Otherwise than that, just let it air, let it breathe out, and pop a bag over and put some moth rings on top of it. Not a plastic bag because it won't breathe.
Breathe.
Yeah,
Gotta let it air.
Got to let it air.
Keep it flowing, circulating.
So you should be able to last a long time.
Well, Mark Ferguson, congratulations on 18 years in the business.
Thank you.
And thank you very much
Thanks
your
for having
company.
me.
Mark is behind Wil Valor. You're on ABC Radio Brisbane and Gold Coast.